have actually changed our traditions as a family, and some of that I'm really grateful for because it's reduced a lot of stress. For a while, we kept doing things just because that's how they've always been done, which can happen with traditions, and I see a lot of people doing it, and they're like, oh, we're doing this, and then we have to do this, and there's like, have y'all paused down and asked, like, does this still make sense for the family? Hold it together.
Clearly, we cannot hold it together on the show.
I know, it's Mr. Zero Fun Zone over here. Don't laugh at any point. Jeez, so you want clean audio?
What is that?
Come on.
Editing?
Are you doing your job well?
Precisely. What? Why? So we've had a fun start to this show already, and it hasn't even started yet.
Why
not? So welcome back to Story Success and Stuff. We're on our second to last episode before the season ends.
That is true.
It's crazy to think. How many episodes, Justin, have we filmed?
This will be 26, I think. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you pulling my? I'm very gullible.
No. I'm telling you, we just did 25.
Oh my God. I can't believe we've had 25 opportunities to sit in front of each other and talk about everything and nothing at the same time, including to the point where I talk very loudly at the same time. Sorry. So second to last episode.
Yep.
Talking about traditions.
Which I can't hear the word and not go, tradition, from Fiddler on the Roof.
Okay, thank you.
Also, sorry for the sound on that.
Yeah.
Blew it.
But now I want to talk Broadway because you said Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes.
So traditions is our topic, of course. And now I need a soundboard. We're going to write that in the list of things that we need. You know the soundboard where you press a button and it just says...
Oh, like for like effects?
Uh-huh.
Effects. Season 2. Okay.
Yeah, season 2.
I mean, you're the wallet, so give us the cue, EP, and we'll get it rocking.
So we're talking about traditions. Of course, it's Christmas time. Happy holidays, of course, if you celebrate Hanukkah, if you celebrate any type of holiday tradition. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Or not. We are big fans of Festivus in my family, which is not a jolly holiday necessarily.
I can see you as a Seinfeld family.
Oh, yeah. Come the 23rd, there will be grievances aired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you celebrate Festivus every year?
Usually just a slew of jokes and sometimes actual things that are annoying about one another shared in joke format via text message and then never talked about again.
Oh, okay. Airing grievances. That totally makes sense.
There's usually feats of strength, but we're not always in the same room, so you can't always do those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be the Festivus poll if you were doing it traditionally, of course.
Yeah. Kickball already had their big tradition this Saturday.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yes, it was Llamica.
Yes.
Story is that our kickball team. Hey, people have wondered why there's llamas in my life. No, you've never wondered?
I would never wonder that. To me, I just go, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like it's become a character in my life, the llama itself. Before it was cool, before everybody and their mom started to have llamas everywhere. So I think Spence and I started playing kickball together when we first started dating, 2014. And I would say that literally this kickball team has been a part of like our love story as a couple. So we were on a team together called Sister Mary Catherine School for the Girls. And of course, every school needs to have a mascot.
Obviously.
And it was a llama.
Yeah.
And
was it a holy llama?
It was a very inappropriate llama.
Oh, okay.
It's adult kickball.
Yeah, sure. Just thinking with the name of the school.
Yeah.
Making a llama holy would be,
correct.
Seems inappropriate.
So the tagline for the chant is "Do it in the pew."
Sure.
So that's very inappropriate, of course. And so the kickball team over the last 10 years, we've all gotten together for Christmas, done a white elephant exchange, drink and be merry. But we did it different this year since we're a lot older. We're not in our 20s anymore because we literally all met in our 20s and 30s, early 30s. We had it early. We had it at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon all the way up to 8. And everybody was like, this is great. I can go to bed.
That all things should start around that time.
Yeah. So Llamica is a really great tradition. And really, it was really nice because some of us have all kind of changed. Like some of us have sobered up. Some of us have had children.
Yeah.
Some of us have grown up and we were the last couple to get married. And so we all came together and it was like, wow, it's like the gang's back together again. It was really nice to actually see all your friends and see where they've evolved and how they've changed, how they've grown up, how much grumpier they are. Best white elephant exchange gift, and I'll talk about, some of the things that are traditions to you. I think it was really funny. So we love to have a good time. Somebody made a bag that literally was rated by Walgreens. We had a knee brace, Tums.
Yeah.
What else did we have? We had other antacids.
2 different antacids. Okay.
2 types of ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the perfect...
Any Band-Aids? I always need Band-Aids.
No, it was not. Yeah, you do always
I was going
need
to say
Band-Aids.
stocking stuffer idea. I just never, I have all these first aid kits. I have one in my car. I have one in my my hiking backpack. I have one in Luna Ray, all these places. But then when I just need a freaking Band-Aid in my house, I have no Band-Aids. And I'm like, just get a first aid kit for your house, Jace.
That's awesome.
Come on.
That's great.
But I love what you're talking about on, maybe throughout the rest of the year, y'all get busy. Like you said, they have families, people have changed, all of this. And then you have the tradition of coming together for this holiday party and reuniting consistently at the same time of year. That's actually one of my favorite parts of traditions, is that they do bring us back together with the people that are important to us in our lives, or those we have history with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think about the definition of culture, right? So definitions of cultures is languages, arts, and language and arts and traditions.
Yeah, shared agreements.
Shared agreements that actually help everybody come back together or bring people together. It's the commonality, right? So here's a question that I like to ask, especially as, so I'm turning 37 here pretty soon, which is nuts.
On the 28th, if anyone wants to send birthday wishes.
Oh my God, I can't. So I always say that because, for 37, 38 years, or how old am I turning? 37. Shit, I always screw this up.
For 30 some odd years.
Yeah, for 30 some odd years, I had the same traditions.
Okay.
But it wasn't until 2017 that everything started to really disrupt for me in terms of holiday traditions. So what's changed for you in the last, I'll share with you what changed for me in the last 10 years and how it kind of made me grow up.
Ooh, yeah.
How has it changed for you, or has it changed for you at all?
It has, yeah. And I'll speak to the growing up piece, but I'd love to hear what happened in 2017. You left us with a cliffhanger there.
My mom started to get sick.
That's right.
She has a history of pancreatic issues, and that's actually very common in the Cabero side, my mom's side of the family. We lost my grandmother and my aunt, the oldest aunt, and it passed 7 or 8 siblings. And then all of a sudden it was my mom that she's like, "Oh, you have a bad pancreas." And we're like, "Oh, shit." It's quite possible that I might. It's quite possible anyone else might. We all have a lot of life to live, right? But it was at 2017, so it was December 1st. I turned 30. It was 7 years ago. I turned 30, and she was in the hospital on my 30th birthday, 30th birthday party, and I felt really bad. But so the morning after, she's in the hospital that night, and she's like, "Oh, it's probably gallstones, Chris. It's fine. Just bring Jonathan. Your dad will be here. It'll be all right." The morning after, she's like, "It's a little bit more serious. You might want to grab Jonathan." And then everything else started to dovetail. So it was the first Christmas she spent at home. We didn't go anywhere. We were supposed to go out of town, and we couldn't. Another part was, I'm trying to think. She was in the hospital during New Year's Eve, because usually Christmas Eve, party. My birthday, one little party, and then New Year's Eve, one big party. And so it was just always boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, it was just everything was to a halt.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it hasn't been the same, right? My mom and dad decided to retire in the Philippines, so they're there often, so I don't get to see them. And then not a lot of people know I actually have this really shitty custody situation that I don't actually see my son on Christmas sometimes. Totally don't. And it builds character. But once you throw that into the mix, where it's you don't really know what year you're going to have him or not, or his parents try to take his parents and his mom. His dad's like, "Oh, can I have him this year again?" And we're like, "Why?" And then COVID started to add to it. It's we really haven't had a stable tradition in Christmas, that it's just not the same anymore since my 20s or younger. So it is what it is, but that kind of defines you in terms of how you make the best out of a shitty situation.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So curious to see what traditions you've had or have had to change.
We've switched them up quite a bit as well. I am pretty nostalgic, and I wanted to keep Christmas the way it was when we were kids. My mom went way out of her way, especially as a single mom, to make sure Christmas was an incredibly magical time for us. We would decorate the house, and we did Santa stuff, and she would buy gifts throughout the whole year and hide them. And then we would wake up on Christmas morning, and my middle sister and I, who shared a room, would go wake up my big sister, and then all three of us would go. And we were supposed to go into my mom's room so that she could go check to make sure Santa had finished and was gone. But what she was really doing was turning on all of the Christmas lights, getting the oven going for cinnamon rolls, getting she used to make a mulled cider so the house would smell like cinnamon and all this. And so she would go prep everything.
Oh my gosh, she's like Martha Stewart.
My mom's incredible. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we would walk out and it'd be like, poof, magical Christmas.
Like Home Alone Christmas style.
Except without being neglected by parents. Yes, very similar.
Yes.
Except being left alone in New York.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to hold on to that. And as we got older, everybody started prioritizing convenience. Where we used to get together, Christmas Eve, we would do a New Mexico Christmas, tamales, enchiladas, things like that. And then Christmas Day, we would do a ham and pie and all of the things. And then it became, well, let's just open gifts on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas morning. That way everyone can do their own thing and wake up at whatever time on Christmas. And I'm like, no, I want us all to be in our jammies and to come to mom's house and to do Christmas like we would and do cinnamon rolls and all of the things. And it was like, well, that's just inconvenient. And then my oldest niece came when we were all kind of young. And so then things started being geared more towards her. And so I thought, okay, here we go. We got the kids back and we're going to do kid Christmas again. But then, as we grew, my sister does her own thing with her kids. She's got 3 girls like my mom did. So they do their own thing. And now it's all become well, what's just convenient? And they have a custody thing too. And so that started to really hurt my heart. And I started getting really depressed around Christmas time, which is common for a lot of people. And I think for me, that's because I wanted to hang on to the magic of childhood. And nobody would let me. I'm like, why do we have to be grown up? I want to have that, and I would come home for Christmas because I was living out of town for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would be just, all of this, trying to plan and coordinate, and it wasn't fun anymore. And so finally I decided I don't have to live by everyone else's Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't have to get depressed around this time of year because other people won't play with me the way that I want to play Christmas. Yeah, and it's just then I'm going to do it my own way. And part of my growing up was recognizing that my happiness is my responsibility.
Yeah.
Not for my mom to continue on, not for my sister to be on board with, but to just to create my own traditions that make me really happy.
Yeah.
And I remember the first year of that, I was living in Austin, and my roommates were gone to their families for the holidays, and I was home alone, and
not left accidentally.
I was purposefully, strategically home alone with the pups, and just ate cinnamon rolls and watched Christmas movies all day by myself.
That's great.
I know. And when I told people that, they're like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry you were by yourself on Christmas. And I was like, hell no. It was one of my favorite Christmases. It was super fun.
Yeah.
And so now I've started to develop my own traditions.
Good.
And to keep whatever magic I can for myself. And if other people don't want to participate, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it on my own.
I feel like I celebrate Christmas throughout the entire month. And I do that because of there's always Lamaka.
Sure.
There's always my birthday, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a new tradition that's starting, which is the crew Christmas.
Oh, for your balloon fiesta, your balloon crew.
Yeah, the balloon crew. So I'm hosting it. And I love hosting parties. I just love hosting parties.
Me too.
And I need to make sure that the team has a good party. We had our Christmas party here. I'm sorry, that was a really fun time.
It was so fun. Also, where are our ornaments? Because
I have them at home.
Are they dry? I really liked our joint one.
Yes.
It made me so happy.
So, side note, there was just this little ornament, and Jace was playing beer pong with water.
With water. Because we're at that age.
Yeah, we're at that age. And you were just like, hey, Kristelle, can you put some glitter on it? I was like, I got you. And I started to paint the glitter, and the damn thing just fell off the top. And your reaction was the best part. You're like, it's okay. I'll just say that my 4-year-old niece did it. I was like, Yeah.
No, I love it even more. Now it's a story, and they all got messed up, and it's fantastic.
I'm gonna tell the boys, bring the staff ornaments. Bring the staff.
I got a space on my tree all ready to rock. I put up a tree this year for the first time. I realized since 2018. I have not put up a Christmas tree since 2018.
How'd you decorate it? There's a tradition in decorating a Christmas tree too.
So because I'm the only one in my family who's sentimental, nobody else has wanted our ornaments from childhood or anything like that. So since my mom doesn't host Christmas anymore, and I was supposed to, I'll tell you a resentment story later.
Yeah.
But not on the air maybe. But so I was like, well, if I'm going to host Christmas, can I put up our tree? Mm-hmm. And so I went and got the tree that we've used at my mom's house for years and the ornaments from childhood, as well as a couple others I've collected myself throughout the years. And so I put up our tree, and I actually did it on purpose on Wednesday night before Charlie's passing, so that he would be there with us, and that the house would be special, and that I would have that memory with him and not do it afterwards. Side note, it was actually really interesting. Our last episode started with us talking to and about Charlie. Oh. Yeah. And for those who don't know, my doggy, he was 16, super long, happy life, but he passed a couple weeks ago. So
how are you?
He won't be with us for Christmas this year, which makes me sad, but I'm glad he was there to kind of make the house special.
Yeah. And how are you going to incorporate? It sounded like you already started to incorporate him into this year, and you'll always remember him as a part, because he's a lasting legacy on your life, right?
Yeah.
So how have you started to think about or have you thought about incorporating him into your Christmas plans, even the spirit of him?
He kind of just coming with me everywhere at this point. Yeah. One of the things that was really comforting to me was a friend who led me in kind of a meditation and invited him into my heart and things like that. And now it just feels like he's there hanging out, playing, having fun all the time. So I talk to him, kind of bring him everywhere with us. So it's weird. The house feels really weird. Yeah. My life feels weird. Yeah. But that is a cool part. I always used to say, I wish I could just take you everywhere in my pocket, and now I kind of can.
Yeah, he's the spirit of him. Yeah. It's always the body is a vessel, right? In terms of grief, and so the memory of him will always last for a very long time. And the tradition of having him in the office, I think, is as difficult as it was for us not to see him around. Yeah. It was always really. I was even telling somebody. Sorry, really side note. I was even telling Spencer. I was like, it was really weird not to have Charlie around. It hurt all of us. It definitely hurt me. Yeah. I can't speak for everybody else, but it hurt all of us not to see him around. But one of the things I think is always really fun, but also memorable and challenging is when we think about the people that have a tradition that's just changed so drastically, where they don't have a loved one anymore around, like you had mentioned. We talk about, we always prepare for the episode and talk about some of the things that we want to share. And one of the things you said is just giving it time to reflect, right? What is this time for tradition for you in terms of reflection?
I think it comes up naturally for so many of us. It certainly does for me at different times of year, my birthday, the end of the year, Christmas, where I look back at milestones in life and where I'm at, and am I at where I thought I was going to be this time of year, where, what was going on last year and things like that. And there's more space in our schedules. Usually we are off of work for a little bit of time and whatnot. And there's this natural period of reflection for me when I start looking at my life. And I have traditions around that for New Year's, which I think we're going to chat about in our beginnings and endings episode next week. Yeah. But even Christmas, it's more heartfelt maybe around Christmas time, where I think of the loved ones, childhood, I have a lot of gratitude for my happy memories in childhood and things like that. And so I know we're supposed to do gratitude around Thanksgiving, but a lot of that comes up for me around Christmas, and I love getting to express that to the people that have made my life magical.
I appreciate the reflection that you have during Christmas, because I'm one of those moms that's really stressed out during Christmas time. And I get really stressed out around Christmas time because of the money aspect, right? Paying for all the gifts and making sure that every family member, introducing the in-laws into the Christmas gift list. I was like, oh God, it's always been my mom, my dad, and I. Yeah. And then the kid. And then now we have the in-laws. I'm like, oh my God, this is so many gifts and so many, and like all of our friends. And, this year, there came a point this year to me where I stopped stressing out about it. It's like what you said, like you really don't want to you really want to make your happiness your own, or you want to be in control of your happiness. So I stopped stressing out, or I tell myself every year, like, don't stress out about a happy moment, because every single time Christmas happens, I always feel like I'm not ready to end the party yet, which side note, I love a good party.
No doubt.
And I don't like being the last person there, but I somehow am like one of the only few that's left. But you always want to, like, as the great Carrie from Sex and the City once said, you always want to leave the party when the party's still popping. And so, but every single time Christmas happens, I was like, the party's still popping. Like, why are we done with this? Like, I don't want to be done with it yet. So I don't get the time to, like, savor Christmas. I don't get the time and the opportunity to just sit and be merry.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the parties part of it because, I get to spend time with people I don't get to spend time with. Like, for example, we call this the Rosary Group, but did you see on our wedding, like the bottom floor was like half Filipino. Some of it was actually blood related. Some of it wasn't. The non-blood related family was there, and that's who we spent almost 10 years of our 10 Christmases together.
Yeah.
Through the good times and the bad. And so this, like, it was like 24 hours ago, they sent us a message like, hey, we're getting together again. And if you're sick, stay home. And all of us are like, yes, like, we're so excited because it's a tradition we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's usually for me, that is when I stop getting depressed and stop thinking about how much I miss my family. And it's definitely one of those moments where I say, the tradition's back again.
And we have actually changed our traditions as a family. And some of that I'm really grateful for because it's reduced a lot of stress. For a while, we kept doing things just because that's how they've always been done, which can happen with traditions. And I see a lot of people doing, and they're like, oh, we're doing this, and then we have to do this. And there's like, have y'all paused down and asked, like, does this still make sense for the family? Yeah. Do we still want to do this? And so we did that a few years ago, and we decided all the obligatory stuff wasn't fun.
Yeah.
The stress, no thanks. Going into debt, bonkers.
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? Like, because society says now we have to give gifts to one another and whatnot. And so we really question, like, what do we want to continue as a family? We do no gifts. We do gifts for the girls.
For the kids.
And then we might do cards or little things for one another, but you don't have to at all. We all contribute to the meal.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll all make the meal together.
Gluten-free, I hope.
There will be things for me to eat. Certainly, I'll make sure of it. I do our dessert now. We do a Black Forest cake honoring our German heritage. And so I'll do that gluten-free. But we've stopped a lot of the things that were bringing joy and happiness. And we've started new traditions, and I'm wearing one of them. So my big sister has taken over some things to ensure that Christmas is really fun because she, a few years ago, caught the Christmas bug like mad. I kid you not, she has a Christmas tree in every room of her house.
That's pretty good.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot. That's
she wears a Christmas outfit every single day for the entire month of December.
Oh, she's hardcore.
Oh, yeah. We deep in it. Absolutely. We send each other so many Christmas memes about, like, right after Halloween, Christmas season has begun for her.
Did you send her the Hallmark one that Justin came up with?
Oh, I'll have to do that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So we do, like, new Christmas things. And 3 years ago, she took over making cookies. Like, we used to do hours and hours and hours of baking cookies, candy, all kinds of things as a family.
Yeah.
Then we paused down, and then she brought it back. And as part of that, she got matching T-shirts.
Oh.
But you're on teams. So me and my youngest niece were on Team Slay All Day.
Oh.
And we have these T-shirts. And then other people have different T-shirts, and we do, like, contests.
Yep.
Gingerbread decorating contests.
Very on brand
baking.
For your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it to a weird... Like, last year at the gingerbread making, they're like, can you just be done, Jace? And I'm like, nope. I actually have a stable that I'm making for my unicorns. Which I have gotten to make as part of my gingerbread ranch that I'm doing with magical creatures and, like, detail decorating things, and other people just slapping shit on there, and I'm there for a long time because it's fun. I like crafting, as you learned with our ornaments. So now we do things that are just silly and fun. And I will brag moment. My other niece joined Team Slay All Day this
Good.
year. When I
Good
was
for her.
over for cookie making, she had on a new shirt and she was on Auntie Jace's team.
Good.
So that was super fun. And we also now go look at Christmas lights together. We all pile into the minivan and we do it as a scavenger hunt.
I remember you telling me about this, and I was like,
so fun.
that's something we used to do in the Bay Area. It's so
It
cool.
gets rowdy. Last year, we could not find a Snoopy. And when we finally did, the kids were like terrified because the adults were like, I saw it first. Snoopy, it's right there. We're like screaming.
Yeah, we've done a company scavenger hunt once
Yeah.
with Jace. Yeah, we know what to expect.
Yeah. I really get into scavenger hunts, escape rooms, puzzles, riddles. Like, you let me in it. I want to be a part of it. I am not doing this ironically. So my big sister's really taken on kind of a new generation of traditions for our family. And they're all really fun. And so that I really appreciate. So we've shifted away from some old ones that we decided as a family, and we brought on some new ones that are really cool. And so I appreciate that. I think I will be doing cinnamon rolls and movies on Christmas Day because we're just doing Christmas Eve as a family.
I will tell you the tradition that I have that I've done it like once or twice already, and it's a good tradition to have. So work becomes very hectic for myself, usually myself and maybe Ed, because finances have to get wrapped up, the company bonuses, etc. And so this is actually a very busy time for us on top of everything holiday related, right?
And short weeks.
And short weeks and things like that.
Yeah.
So the one thing I actually do, which my fellow nerddom general over here will appreciate, there's one year when I first started dating Spencer, I actually watched the whole trilogy of Star Wars, original trilogy, because he goes, if we're going to watch this in the movie theater, you are not going to stop and ask me questions in the middle of it. And I said, absolutely not.
Duh.
So I marathon movies.
Oh, yeah.
And one other year, I actually got through the entire Marvel series leading up to Endgame. It was worth the time and the investment. But the holidays give me a time to like stop, which is really important.
Yeah. 2020, when we weren't getting together as a family, I did a nonstop director's cut Lord of the Rings Christmas movie marathon.
Oh my God.
It was incredible.
Yeah, that seems really tiring.
No, it was super fun.
No. Good on you. Like, I'm not shitting on your Lord of the Rings moment, but I'm like, dude, that's a long time.
Girl, you got the whole day.
That's like 24 hours, right?
I know. No. But I was there for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, it is very dark outside now. I was thinking of you the other day. I went on a date with someone whose birthday is May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
I know. I kept my nerddom inside, but I was like, I'm going to tell Kristelle about this.
Yes. Side note, we have to tell Ed to make May the 4th be with you a company holiday.
Obviously. I don't know why it's not.
Yeah. I'm slacking. Anyways, great episode on traditions. Really love the fact that we were just kind of reflecting back on the things that bring us joy, bring us, back to society, back to life. Like, and I appreciate that vulnerability on both of us who feel comfortable to talk about it. Next episode, we're talking about the end of year, right?
Endings and beginnings.
Beginnings
And endings, they are one and the same.
Really solid episode on that. Looking forward to having a good, solid conversation. For those of you that are just tuning in on episode 25, 26, whatever. 26. Who's tuning in for the first time, thanks for joining us. I hope that you get the opportunity to listen to the rest of our great podcasts, or for the future podcasts, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, or go on to Siarza.com to watch the rest. And most importantly, thank you, Jace. Thank you, Justin. And thanks to you all for listening to today's episode of Stories, Success, and Stuff.